The upcoming Legend of Zelda was announced quite some time ago, and yet we're still starved for information. Mr. Aonuma and his team have done a good, albeit cruel job of keeping fans guessing when it comes down to figuring out what the new game will be all about. Even though we don't have a whole lot of details, all hope is totally not lost. For the most part, we do know that the new Zelda is set to bring major changes to the formula, which primarily revolves around it taking more of an open world approach. Zelda titles have never truly been open world, so this change is definitely a big deal. Naturally, the development team must have been doing some heavy research in order to get the new formula working properly. With that having been said, here's hoping that the team took a good look at the latest project from one of their closest neighbors, Monolith Soft's Xenoblade Chronicles X. Released last year, X is one of the biggest JRPGs ever created, and that's mostly due to the fact that it has a massive open world to explore. Considering the amount of love that the game has gotten, perhaps it's the perfect role model for the Zelda team to imitate as they craft their first true open world adventure. Mira, the world of Xenoblade Chronicles X, is quite expansive. It features unique areas and a vast variety of different things to see and do. Having such a big world, Monolith Soft certainly did a good job at filling it all up, but not to the point of it getting too repetitive. Not only does each area look different, but there are even environmental hazards and monsters that are unique to each of the 5 in-game continents. No matter where you venture to, you'll almost always encounter something new. That level of variation is something that not all open world titles get right. And considering the size of X, that's quite the achievement. Having established that, one can only hope the next Zelda follows the same pattern, and for good reason.
And the brand new Zelda game headed to Wii U.
You should already know that X is huge. It literally has one of the biggest maps of this generation. Interestingly enough, it looks like the next Zelda will be following a similar path. Mr. Aonuma has stated that the game's map size will be somewhere in the realm to that of the real-world city of Kyoto. That's 320 square miles. For comparison, X is 154.44 square miles. While it's still unclear if the new Hyrule will be exactly as big as Kyoto, seeing that the team is looking to it as a base, it's probably safe to say that this world is also going to be huge. All one has to do is take a look at the in-game map that was shown off during the new Zelda's gameplay reveal from the 2014 Video Game Awards. The portion that was shown was only but a small section, and yet, it was quite expansive. Considering X's similarly vast size, Monolith did a great job at optimizing the game enough so that its performance hardly ever took a hit. Not to mention the fact that you can travel around the whole world and not run into a single loading screen. If Aonuma and his team can replicate that, it's certainly going to be a sight to behold. The Wii U doesn't have a huge amount of open world titles in its library, but it still has managed to show that its unique design is practically perfect for them. Xenoblade Chronicles X is one of the few games that totally show off just how great the gamepad is. Monolith Soft held nothing back when it came down to taking advantage of the second screen. Not only do you have a full map of the world at your disposal, but there's also information available to you on the fly. Thankfully, we've already seen some of the ideas that the Zelda team have in store for the gamepad. Aonuma has already confirmed that the gamepad features that we've seen in Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD have served as the basis of what we can expect to see in the new game. Combining these ideas along with the expansive use of the controller in X, and you pretty much have yourself the most perfect use of the gamepad that we've seen yet. The next Zelda is probably going to end up being a different experience from that of Xenoblade, but that doesn't mean it can't borrow some of the features that make X the great game that it is. Seeing that Monolith is a Nintendo studio, they've more than likely been assisting with the game's development, just as they did with Skyward Sword. As Link prepares to set off for his first true open world adventure, let's hope he learns a thing or two from the folks on Planet Mira.